Hi everyone, and today we're going to talk about Henry Matisse and especially his painting of the fishbowl, and which is this right here. And then we are going to talk about how to do our own version of it. Now, traditionally, we would use lots of different media to create this project. You could do cutouts, you could do mixed media and laying different types of paper down. There's lots of different options. But I know most of you at home have very limited supplies, so we are just going to do a drawing of it. If you want to try and cut out different patterns to put down for the picture, by all means, please impress me with what you can do. But I know most of you have pencil and paper and crayons, so that's what we're going to be doing. Those of you who don't have crayons, you can just draw it with pencil. You can use colored pencils, markers, whatever other supplies you have that you can do this with. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our fishbowl. So you want to draw our fishbowl in kind of the middle of the page. And I'm going to draw an oval like that. And I'm drawing mine with the black crayon so that it's easier for you to see. And I'm using yellow paper. You do not have to use a certain color paper. You can do white paper, whatever you have. I just thought the yellow paper would save a step for me so I don't have to color the whole background. All right, so I'm going to start with my oval. I'm going to make a little curve on either side like that. And connect the curves, and you can create an oval that goes around on the inside like that, curving it back around. So it's like a top oval, the bottom oval, and that would be the lip of the fishbowl. All right, then I'm gonna make mine. Yours doesn't have to be perfectly round. It could be a cylinder. It could be different. So it can be different shapes. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a curve on this side. I want a fairly round fishbowl. And I'm gonna create a curve on this side. And a straight line here at the bottom. Then I'm gonna make a little curve here. Little curve over on this side. And curve, and there's my fishbowl. Okay, and then once I have my fishbowl, I need it to be sitting on something. So I'm going to make a little table, and my little table is just going to be that. It's just going to be a little round. I'm going to come around to the back side of my fishbowl back here. I'm going to make a little round oval-like table, and it doesn't have to be perfectly. It doesn't have to be a perfect oval. You're just going to make a shape. On the far ends, on the outside, you're going to draw a little line like this, and then you're going to make a parallel line that follows the curve of that table around, like that. And then you can draw 2 or 3 legs. I'm just going to draw two legs down. And there you go. If you could put a third one back there if you want to. There you go. So there's our table. Now we still need to make a line for our background. So I'm going to make a line right here. And that goes through the table. Shade out on the side. So you could do it higher, but then you'd have to draw the line through your fishbowl. So I would keep it lower and have it go through the table instead of the fishbowl. That way you don't have to draw a line through your fishbowl. And then we're going to draw our fish. Now, you could draw the regular little fish that look like, that I know you know how to draw. You could do these. If that's all you can draw for fish, that's fine. But I'm going to show you a different way. So these fish, we're going to draw one that looks like it's curved. So I'm going to draw a curved line right here. And then where it meets this curved line, I'm going to do another curved line like this. And then I'm going to add the tail. And the tail doesn't have to be a certain shape. And I'm going to add a fin, a little top fin, and an eye. And there we have a fish. And it looks a lot better than doing one of these, right? So it's just a wavy line here, curved line at the bottom, create some type of fin. You could just do a triangle fin if you need to, or you could do a wavy fin like I did. Then you're going to draw some fin on this side, and maybe a little top fin here. And that's it. To make a fish, there you go. So you could do that again over on this side, or you could do one that's kind of more, let's have it going up instead of coming down. So I'm going to have it come up and curve like this, a curved line. I'm going to bring that curve around, and it's going to be wider here and thinner at the bottom. So wider and then thinner like that. And again, I'm going to draw the fins, make an eye, make a side fin, and a top fin. And there you go. There's your two fish. Now that you have it shaped, what we're going to do is we're going to do different patterns. In his original picture, there's a lot going on, lots of colors, lots of shapes. We're going to do a floral pattern in the background. You don't have to do a floral pattern, but it would make the most sense because it's a lot of leafy patterns, leafy flower patterns in the original picture. So floral means flower or anything plant-like. So we're going to do a floral pattern in the background. So what I'm going to do, and you can do your own, it does not have to be exactly like mine, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some big simple flowers like this. Maybe I'll put another one here. And of course I'm drawing with a black crayon. You can draw with a pencil first. You can go ahead and draw with a black crayon. You can do whatever you need to do to make it look more like yours and whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm also needing to draw the top of the water for my fishbowl like that. And maybe another flower here. I don't want to go crazy with the flowers. Maybe I put one here and you would only see half of this flower because part of it would go behind the fishbowl. And then maybe I do some cool leafy shapes on my wall. And I'm just doing a wavy line just like the fish and connect it. And maybe a few, maybe the top of another flower here. There we go. And again, it does not have to be the same as mine. You can come up with your own pattern. I'm just filling in the space with a floral design. And you'll notice that all my leaves aren't going in the same direction. They're kind of all over the place. And that's fine. That's not a problem. And then I'm going to do a pattern on my floor. And I'm just going to do, because I've got these straight lines down here, I don't want to do straight lines down and get those confused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do straight lines sideways. But I need to make sure that my straight lines kind of line up to make it look like floorboards. And there you go. Now you've drawn it. And so I'm going to do one more leaf here. Any empty space, you might want to go through and find a leaf or something for. And then all you've got to do is color it. And so this would be your Matisse project. If you were doing this in a regular classroom during a non-COVID year, we would probably be cutting out paper and gluing different types of patterns together. Again, that's not really an option this year, but it's originally what we would like to do. If you have different colored paper, like wallpaper samples or scrapbooking patterns that you want to use to cut out to glue down for this instead, I am fine with that if you have those materials at home. If you don't, that's okay too. And so we're just going to color using whatever you have to color with. Crayons, pencils, markers, whatever. I'm going to color my fishbowl. My water is blue. And even though it says goldfish, and I think in the picture it's goldfish or some type of yellowfish, I'm going to color another top of my water for the back side of my bowl and make it look like the water goes around the bowl. Even though it's goldfish, they're actually more orange than gold. So I would use an orange for your fish, or an orange and yellow. I'm just going to color my whole fish orange. And again, I want you to take your time and do it neatly. And I am going a little bit faster than normal just because I want you to be able to get it done. And I don't want you to spend a terrible amount of time just watching me do it when you could be working on your own work. If you need to pause the video, if I'm going too fast, by all means, pause the video and then get caught up, and then you can unpause it. I'm going to do my table brown. And so this table here, I'm going to color brown. Now Matisse didn't use a whole lot of brown. He used a lot of bright colors in most of his pieces. So I'm only doing the table brown because that will make it stand out as a table. And the side of the table is going to be a darker brown. So I'm just pressing down a little bit harder for the side of the table than the top of the table. Y'all see that? And then the legs are also going to be this darker brown. So again, press down a little bit harder. For the legs. And there you go. And then you can color the floor. You don't have to do it like a regular color floor. It can be any color. Let's say I want to do my floor. I'm going to leave my background yellow. If you did it on a white sheet of paper, you might want to color the background a color. I'm going to do my floor. Let's say I'm going to do my floor dark blue, like an indigo. I think that'll be pretty. And I'm not pressing down hard, but I am coloring in my floor. And then Matisse went through several different phases of work, and one of the ones that he's most popular for that we don't really study a whole lot in elementary school is his Faubus movement. And he was the founder of the Faubus movement, him and a couple other artists. And one of the big tells of the Faubus is that they use a whole lot of red. So in this painting, which was before the Faubus movement, he didn't use a whole lot of red. And so we're not going to use a lot. But I am going to use red for my flowers just to represent his Faubus style that he came up with later. So I'm going to come through and color my flowers red. You do not have to. Your flowers can be any color. Or your pattern, if you didn't do flowers and you did a different pattern, that's fine too. We're just adding pattern. Everything we do doesn't have to exactly copy me, as long as you get the main concept, the bowl, the table, patterns, that's fine. It doesn't have to exactly copy me. And so I'm going to color mine in. And I'll fast forward through this part so that you don't have to just sit here and watch me color the whole time. And there we go. And so now I'm done. And I hope you had fun drawing this, and I hope you remember that the artist's name was Matisse, that did the fishbowl painting with lots of patterns and bright colors around it. If you are completely done and you want to sign your name, you can sign your name along the edge of the table here, or on the fishbowl would be a good spot to sign your name. So I would put like Gleason on my fishbowl there, and you're done. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Have fun.